Hi, Tim Blanchett here with Divorce661.com. Been talking a lot about dates of separation in the last podcast. I just talked about different ideas you can use for the date of separation. Most of the time, our clients are in agreement to the date of separation. But in this podcast, I want to talk about what is the significance of the date of separation. And I'm reading off an attorney's website because I don't like to give legal advice, but I do want to share this information with you. So let me share this. It says California uses the date of separation as the essential date for determining property interest. Property acquired by a spouse after the date of separation is considered to be that spouse's separate property, while property acquired before the date of separation is community property. So in plain English, what that means is before the marriage, anything you acquired is separate. During the marriage, everything you acquired is community property subject to division by the court. So the issues become, people say, Tim, we don't have anything in each other's names, so we don't have any property to divide. In the state of California, they don't look at whose name it's in. They look at the date of acquisition of the asset or debt. So like my wife and I, she can have her own bank accounts and pensions, and I can have mine totally separate, never shared, never anything. Even I could buy the car in my name and she not appear anywhere on the car at all, on title or the loan. But it's still community property. She still has an interest in that property. Another example is with this business of mine. While she's not part of it, doesn't work in it most of the time or at all, she has her own thing. She has a community property interest in my business because it was started during the marriage and monies were made during the marriage. So that's how that works. Now, the significance of the date of separation is that once you file and you indicate a date of separation, that's the line in the sand for the community property interest. So a lot of times there can be, and not with us, most of our clients do agree on the date of separation, but where parties disagree usually is around, when they're getting close to the 10-year mark and they know they may have to pay spouse support for a longer period of time, or in the accrual of, say, community properties such as pensions and so forth. So I'll give you an example. If one party said, well, date of separation was 2 years ago, and the spouses say, no, date of separation is last month, there's almost 2 years of additional acquisition or 2 more years of accrual of community property in the other parties with the pensions income. I mean, they would get more money if the date of separation was pushed closer to the future, or not the future, but to today, to current times. So if that happens, there are tests that can be looked at in determining. And again, we don't deal with that too much in our office. It's usually agreed upon, but it can be a full trials in court in divorce can be held over the issue of data separation because, like I was saying, it could be a big difference in the amount of community property one's awarded. It could also be a huge difference in as far as the length of marriage going over 10 years where someone's trying to get support for an indefinite period of time as opposed to, say, half the length of the marriage. So I'm not going to get into the exact details of the objective test versus the subjective test because we don't deal with that too much, but that's something you can look at. You can always give me a call if you have questions about determining the date of separation, or read the article and listen to the podcast I wrote on trying to figure out what an applicable date of separation would be. In most cases, 99% of the time, it's going to be obvious. Both of you will agree. It's only in cases where one party is trying to establish a shorter period of time for purposes of financial gain. Tim Blanchett, Divorce661.com. Hope that was helpful. Give us a call. We do handle divorce cases throughout California. Go to Divorce661.com or give me a call at 661-281-0266. We'll talk to you soon.